The house was built by Stuart Spencer Marsh in 1836. He had moved here and with his wife and young children and built this house and began to develop a business, and he bought a generous amount of acreage and began to be quite the man around town. He had children, and his descendants have lived in the house until the early 1990s. He was briefly in politics. He represented this area in Atlanta for a while.
Who was the last family member that lived here?
Miss Addie Augusta Wirt, and she was in her 90s. In the early 1990s is when she moved out of the house. She had to move into a nursing home, and she was the last descendant to live in the house. Then it went to private ownership for a few years. And then in 2003, Walker County, Beebe High School, who is the Walker County Commissioner, had the insight and to buy the house, so Walker County owns the house. She has leased it to the Walker County Historical Society. The Marsh House Task Force is part of that group, and we were charged with building a reputation for the house and building the future for it.
In 2005, the Marsh House was placed on the National Register of Historic Places by the Department of the Interior. This designation was officially observed during an unveiling ceremony of a historic marker. The Marsh House just recently reopened. They had been closed for about 8 months or so for a renovation project. And during that renovation, Mary Smitherman, who's the events coordinator, was working with a group of people one evening and received somewhat of a surprise.
And we were stripping wallpaper, and when we got to the bare wall, we found writing on the wall that had listed the names and the dates that this house was wallpapered. And the fourth time it was wallpapered by my granddaddy, Claude C. Clinton, and my daddy, Clarence C. Clinton. And I had no idea that was done in 1931, so I was jumping and screaming. And
as the ladies were showing me around the house, they spoke of a number of furnishings that they consider original to the house, such as a bust on the piano, a leaf vase or bowl. On the mantel, 2 vases on either side of a clock. All 3 are original to the house. And in the hallway, there is a sugar chest. I wondered about that, too. They said it held white sugar and brown sugar, and the lady of the house kept the key around her waist to try to keep someone from stealing it. It was such a valuable commodity at that time.
in the upstairs bedroom, the children's room, is a baby crib that went with the Marshes to Cassville. When the war got close to LaFayette, the Marsh family left for safety reasons and went to Cassville. They took the crib and they took the sugar chest with them. So when they came back, the house had been ransacked. Everything was gone, and it had blood stains in the floor, bullet holes in the wall, hoof prints in the floor in the hall. And so they had to start over. So when we say original to the house, we're talking about the second time that when they came back from Cassville and had to start over. There is a bed in one of the bedrooms upstairs in the blue room that was Brother Precious's bed, and he is a grandson of Spencer Marsh. His mother inherited the house.
Now, why was he called Brother Precious? Was that his name, or?
Well, no, his name was, it was, let's see, Spencer Marsh Worthen, I believe was his name. He was the grandson of Spencer Marsh. He had 4 sisters. He was the only boy, so he was Brother Precious. That's what they called him. He always wore a suit, a white shirt, and a bow tie, and he sat on the front porch. And when when the kids would come over, people that he knew, he would always give them sugar candy canes.